This honestly ended up being one of the more difficult cookies in the set. I cannot tell you how many cookies I scraped off so that I could get this right. I do think this is a cookie much easier to outline with a edible pen. And I recommend drawing things a little bit bigger than you normally would, because we're going to leave some negative space on this cookie. Everywhere inside those circles, those loops, we want to stay plain cookie. And that was really the hardest part for me, because I'm a lazy decorator. So I kind of speed through things, and I don't give things the space they need. But I'm outlining all of those spots right now. And again, I'm trying to almost outline just on the outside of the lines, because I had so many cookies fill in, and you can see that one little blobby dot right towards the bottom. That almost fills it in at the end. And I'm not going to go through and pipe in around all of those sections. I'm just kind of doing blobs. And it's because I learned if I went in and piped all those sections, all of my negative space would disappear, because this icing is just so good at filling in empty spaces. So your scribe is so necessary to come in and get it into all of those little nooks and crannies and fill in your cookie. Now I have to say, if you're looking at this and being like, this looks nothing like a shell, you would not be alone. I felt that way. So it makes this part after you fill in what I think is pretty necessary to this cookie, but you can take it or leave it if you want. So we're gonna let this dry just like those beach balls, so that it can create a nice kind of crust over the icing. And I'm gonna come back, you can see it's dry, and I'm just going to do some blobby icing on top. We're not going to leave it. This is where we come in with the brush, and very lightly, because this cookie is not fully dry. We very lightly are spreading it around and just creating a texture. Now we don't want it to get into those negative spaces, those empty cookie pieces. We just want it to sit on the white. And again, think of a shell that you've held in your hand. It's not completely smooth to the touch on the outside. It's got that texture. And so I think that's what really finishes off this cookie very nicely. Now I put a little bit too much icing on top, and so I'm using my brush to kind of wipe some off, because you really don't need too much here. And if you break through your crust, it's fine. Your cookie will still look very cool.